What motivates you? How you answer that question actually matters to God. In fact, it's a good indicator of your spiritual condition. I'm Quito Espiritu, and this is 5 minutes on motivation. Motivation is one of those words that has a nice ring to it. We say it's good to be highly motivated. We look up to motivational speakers. Our culture encourages us to be motivated in pursuing our goals. But culture isn't really concerned about what motivations might be. Entertainment media is full of characters who do good things for bad reasons. That shows what our culture really thinks about good and evil, doesn't it? It doesn't matter whether you're motivated by anger, money, sex, pride, or other sinful things, as long as you beat the bad guys and help the good guys. But motivation does matter. What you do is important, but why you do it matters even more. The greatest commandment is to love God with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength. Mark 12:30. This is the greatest commandment, not only because it carries more weight than all the other commandments, but because it encompasses all of them. Every other commandment is meant to be an expression of our love for God. And that means the right motivation for doing anything, absolutely anything, is love for God. That has to be the driving force of my life, or I'm living for the wrong reasons. Think about 1 Corinthians 13, 1-4 for a minute. It tells us that no matter how gifted we are, no matter how many good things we do, if we're not motivated by love, then in God's eyes, we're nothing and we accomplish nothing worthwhile. Now, 1 Corinthians 13, 1-4 is about Christians loving one another, which falls under the category of the second commandment. Love your neighbors. But if that's true for the second commandment, how much more true is that for the first commandment? At this point, we need to pause and think for a moment. Ask yourself, how many times this week did I do something good, but not out of love for God? Maybe you did something just because you had to do it. Or maybe others were watching. Or maybe you wanted to get something in return. In God's eyes, obeying Him for reasons like those don't really count as obedience. That's really sobering, isn't it? It's sobering for me because I know that I just don't love God that much. If you were to ask me, do you love God so that everything you do from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you close your eyes at night is an expression of your love for Him? If I were being honest, I'd have to say, no, I don't love God that much. And if you're being honest, neither do you. So where does that leave us? Do we give up trying to obey the greatest commandment? No. I may not love God the way I should, but I do love Him, and I do want to please Him. And I can't just dismiss something that's so important to Him. And if you're a Christian, neither can you. So we need to be committed to a lifelong pursuit of a greater and greater love for God. This is the only motivation that really matters. How then can we grow in love for God? Thankfully, the Bible answers that question, and I'm looking forward to discussing it next time. But for now, this was 5 minutes on motivation. I hope that you find it helpful in your walk with the Lord. God bless.